Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Creative Characters. I am your interviewer and storyteller, the Ravished Sarkie, and tonight's offering is the first outing from Darrington Press called Candela Obscura, which translated means obscure flame or shadowed flame or dark fire. It's really an interesting kind of translation when you read something in Spanish that I don't think was uh, localized correctly. But Candela Oscura was released in November 14th, 2023 under the fledgling Darrington Press, though it did premiere on Critical Role earlier in the year on May 25th with some of the quick start rules so people could jump right into it. It was created by Townsend Jaffe and Chris Lockey, with its lead designers being Spencer Stark and Rowan Hall, and it's been based on the Illuminated Worlds D6 system. And one of the good things about this mysterious system is that we get to go through it with one of the most mysterious friends that I have. Welcome to the show, Donald.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So first question and last question are always the same.
Oh,
First question. You have never played or run this game before today, is that correct?
correct.
Perfect. And now, because I honestly don't know a lot of these answers in advance compared to some of
Yeah.
my other guests that I've had before, this is going to be really interesting. So I might shoot off on tangents depending on how you answer them.
Tangents.
Tangents.
Sines, cosines too.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I never got that far in math. But Donald, what was the first game that you remember playing on your TTRPG journey, and do you still play it today?
So you might be surprised because I don't know. Have I ever told you about how I started D&D?
Mm-mm. Man, I
So
hope I hope it is some obscure shit like fucking Earth Dawn or Iron Claw or some other fucking like soft cover book.
in 2013,
Oh, okay, so it's not.
a friend invited me to a 3.5 game,
Mm,
D&D 3.5.
wow. So
And it was
3.5 was the gateway drug.
yeah, it was his first time DMing.
Nice. Okay.
And he made every mistake. So we had 4 sessions, starting with at level 7, and then jumping in the
Wow.
last session to level 13.
Jesus.
And the entire experience of the game for me was just building the characters. Because in 3.5,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's just everything to go through. All books.
All books.
And almost everybody else at the table was like a veteran player who was just goofing off with
Mm.
2 people untrained common.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Couldn't speak to the rest of could only speak with one other person in the rest of the table.
The ambassador character. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. Who was not happy about it because they were like lawful good and they were like chaotic neutral or something.
Oh God. That is a comedy in and of itself.
Yeah, it's all the things.
Do you still play 3.5? Have you jumped into Pathfinder instead, or are you
Yeah, I still sing the praises of 3.5. I think
3.5?
that the detractors of it
Mm-hmm.
don't get it. I think that it's the kind of thing where the biggest complaints you always hear. There's so many books. There's so many rules. There's rules for everything. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
look, don't read them.
You ain't got to read the
If
words.
if you've got the basic PHB, the rest is just a contract of it's like, you know what? If somebody decides they're gonna do this, there's already worked out mechanics of how to do it, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to invent it off my dome
Yeah.
and like come up with something broken. And it's like, ignore all the rest of that. And so, that was my first little thing, and that got me hooked to where the next a couple months later, I ran my own 3.5 game,
Okay.
and that went for 4.5 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
From level one.
From level 1 to level 6. And I did it as an E6, so we capped the level at 6,
Okay.
which is like
Interesting.
flavor thing of like, keep it low fantasy.
Hmm.
Because
Interesting.
in 3.5, after that, like all the
Oh yeah.
characters break down. Like a
Listen.
wizard will take over
Uh,
everything.
yeah. A one of the last games a friend of mine ran ever of Dungeons and Dragons. He invited me and another friend of ours. He invited all of us from back in the original Dragon.
Hmm.
Just to give you context, and he made the mistake of allowing us to do whatever we wanted. And so one friend and I were like, let's be brothers. Let's be like people that wanted to go down the same path but didn't. And so we each took our first level as clerics. Uh, and he was like, okay, so where'd you go after that? What are the next three? Like he did it level by level because I think we started like level 5. So he was like, what happens the next 2 levels? Like, where do you guys go? And that's where we diverged. And so uh my other friend went straight cleric, all 5 levels. I went wizard instead. And
Fell out of the order.
fell out of the order. I wanted to read books because I was a huge nerd and cast magic shit. And honestly, it was because I had read one of the newest books that had come out at the time was like The Complete Divine.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
those were
and
fun.
yeah, the complete series was just like, do you want to break your character and make your DM cry? Read some of these words. And the one that I abused was there was a feat that you had to be you could only take a level 1 and you had to be a cleric to take it, uh, which was to use your turn on dead attempts to pay for your meta magic
Yep,
leveling
yep.
level adjustment. And I was
To
just
quicken
like,
and stuff.
mm-hmm. And I was just like, I'm gonna take that. That's my level 1 feat. That's my first level 1 feat because I'm a human. Because I'm gonna break this game.
Mm.
Uh,
Easy to do in 3.5.
mhm. And then it was like I got all my wizard feats for meta magic enhancements, and all my regular feats were just like extra turning.
So many feats.
It got to the point I think where he said, "You hear something in the forest," and one of the other guys had seen like a pair of goblin like warg riders or something. And I was just like, "All right, this area over here," and I counted out the radius of a fireball, and I was like, this whole circle is gonna take 8 times 6 is 48 points of damage.
Yeah, the whole bag. Dump out the bag.
And he's like, you didn't roll anything. I was like, I know, because I maximized my fireball, and it's sonic, so none of the trees are burning. Because I'm conscientious about my world.
Oh, so an honorary druid too.
Mm-hmm. uh Don, I'm gonna ask you about
Mm.
Professor Cody in a minute,
Oh
but
my.
yeah, but how do you come up with your character names? What's the formula? Because I know that we have the game where it's just like, here's a character that I have named a certain way,
Yeah.
and 9 times out of 10, you will not spell it correctly.
Yeah.
So how do you do it when it comes to your turn?
So and I read this. I can't remember. I think it's probably in the back of like the 3.5 DM guide or something like that.
Mhm.
Uh, there's like a bit about like if you're creating characters for a town, you can go to the library and pull out an atlas of names of different countries,
Okay.
and I will often just look at whatever random, I'll think of a general air that I want the character to have,
Mhm.
and then I try to like look at whatever random Wikipedia history things that I've looked at recently
Mhm.
and pick out some sort of name that will have like, you know, uh, verisimilitude by being like a proper name. mix a first name and last name from uh, uh, two people in the same like historic event or something like that,
Okay.
and show up with something seemingly something. For a couple of our games, I've just been like, eh. Uh,
Like Jamo.
well, Jamal's got a longer name,
Yeah.
but that's a comedy game, and that's Hamon.
Hamon. That's right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yep.
Professor
Um,
Cody was just yeah
yeah. I mean,
nonsense. Yeah.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
I have specifically laced a question for him. I always try to start off with the character's name when I'm starting a character,
Mhm.
because of like in my mind, it's how you introduce yourself normally to people.
Yeah.
You're like, hello, my name is. Where do you start when you're coming up with a character to play?
I think I usually go with broad concept.
Hmm.
Either something that I've skimmed in the system will like grab me
Hmm.
and be like, oh, whatever that is, I'm gonna figure out how to be in that, uh, and then go like backwards and out from there. It's like, okay, well, if I'm that, then what is it? What does that even mean? And try to imagine that the character's already there,
Mm,
and I've just gotta, interview him to figure out what he's about.
okay. Uh, in Candela,
Yeah.
you start off with a role and specialty. You've played Daggerheart, so you know it's
Mhm.
kind of the same thing where you pick a class and it has its two subclasses underneath it. It's the same thing here, just with different labeling.
Mm.
The roles and specialties start on page 20. There's five roles. Each one has two specialties to choose from. And when you're looking at them, you've walked an interesting path to get to where you are today. Are you where you thought you would be when you were in high school, or have you missed the mark in some way, shape, or form? And if given the chance to go back, would you do things differently? Try to line up with what you thought you were going to be.
Uh, yeah, I guess like I didn't have a strong like notion of who or what I wanted to be in coming out of high school.
Hmm.
I knew I wanted to study computer programming, and so I went or computer science.
Hmm.
And I had done computer science all through high school. Like I did like both of the AP test things for it somehow. They changed the language, so they let me take both of them, take it back to back. Uh, and I had used stuff from the school that I went to, Carnegie Mellon. And that was like I wanted to go to there and learn the things from the people there. Uh, Past that though, I was like, well, when I was done with it, I was like, well, I don't want to do this as a career or for a living.
Hmm.
I enjoy it. It's like my greatest hobby is programming. And I was like, I'd never want to like have somebody make money off that, or like have it be something that I have to do day in and day out
Mm.
and not like it.
Yeah.
But I've been in all my work has been IT kind of stuff, so
Hmm.
it's like adjacent, and the fact that I had those studies has really helped me
Okay.
with that.
Nice.
I've known that I've wanted to be like a perpetual scholar. I think it's a wasted day if I didn't learn anything.
Mm.
Um, and so going back to school, oh, now it's been 10 years. Went back to school after like lost a lost a job
Mhm.
uh, as a vacation, and that's I got that master's in religious studies. That it's I looked through course catalogs and I was like, what can I do where every class that I take I won't know anything about anything that they teach me in the class. And so everything will be brand new and it'll be like new stuff for me to learn.
That is an interesting mentality to go into a program with.
Yeah. I mean, I had thought like, oh, I love the sciences. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh, I could do physics. I haven't really enjoyed physics. I'm like, oh my God, I'd have to take all these classes of stuff that I've already taken like some of, and I've read a lot on my own.
Mm.
Chemistry. My dad is a chemical engineer. That would be cool to have more. It's like, oh, I'd have to take all these baselines things and just suffer through them, kind
Mhm.
of. Like, no, no, no. I'm gonna go into something where I don't like. Nobody's gonna care if I have like prerequisites. They don't have them. Humanities stuff.
Yep.
And even the most like gen ed of that, like intro courses of that, it was all stuff that I'd like never seen this before.
Nice.
Yeah, and so much of it goes into all these fantasy worlds.
Mhm. Yeah.
So in that way, yeah, I think yeah, I'm kind of where I've wanted to be. Uh,
Good.
the road was a different road taken, but
Mhm.
that's how what happens on every trip that I take.
Yep. Each what's it called? Each role is gonna give you two specialties, like I said.
Yeah.
Each specialty is gonna set your stats.
Mm,
You're gonna get a total of 5 points predetermined for you, but then you get one more. Anything that's a zero, you get to put a point into.
okay.
So, and then you'll get three extra points on top of that to kind of buff yourself how you wanna where you wanna be better at, or with the caveat being that nothing can be higher than a two.
Okay. So you're ready to hear the role that
Do
I'm
it.
thinking?
Hit me.
Slink.
Okay. The underhander.
Street smart, roguish, nefarious member of the group.
Nice.
Subversive and clever, skilled in crime, underworld, or clandestine activities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which way are you leaning? Criminal or detective?
Uh, I guess detective. I don't want to go too hard into just straight up rogue.
Okay. So detective is going to start you with control one, hide one, survey two, and focus one.
Okay, control one.
Yep.
Let's see where those are. Okay, so it's like this. Oh, hey,
Yep. And
that worked. Control one.
I'll help you.
Okay, I've got that. So I can
You
hide
want
one. Oh yeah,
that?
yeah. Focus one,
You got it?
and then choose one action with a 0 and
Yep.
raise it to a 1.
Correct.
Hmm. I think that'd be read.
Okay. And now you're going to get 3 more points to kind of flesh it out a little bit more.
Hmm.
However you want. Just remember that there's a max of 2. So like
Ah,
focus, read, hide, and control can get 1 more point put into them, but if you're getting something like strike or move or sway, it would be at 2 maxed.
okay. And the the like nerve, cunning, intuition, they don't have baselines of their own. Those are just the separate pools, right?
So
Like point pools.
the
Hmm.
drives where each of the kind of
Right.
columns adhere to, uh, they have their own points that you're going to be putting in,
Right.
but they don't have to, like, your if you put points into sense, for example, your intuition doesn't have to match
Okay.
uh, where your best scores are.
Okay. So I think what I'm gonna go. That's
The way the system works is that you roll a number of dice equal to
hmm.
the points in your stat.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Plus whatever you might want to put points from the drive into.
Right. If you want to use a drive point to add a die to it. Also, if it's gilded, which we'll get to,
Hmm.
it means that one of your dice in that, or I think all of the dice in that roll, are different colored,
Hmm.
and choosing to take a gilded action um, you choosing the gilded die over like a different die gives you a drive point back. So it's a good system, of using a resource and having an option, and a easy way to get it back. Mhm.
So I think with these 3 spare points, I think I'm gonna put 2 into move,
Okay.
and then 1 into sway.
Okay. I like it. Uh, Now then,
Hmm.
we I don't remember if I've ever used the consent form with you.
Hmm.
Uh, I know that we definitely should have used the consent form for that big game
Yeah.
that we played down at Alfie's house.
Yep.
Uh, but given the consent
Hey, that
form
game went for
longer
what,
than it
3
should
years?
have, given the consent form and session zero discussions that should always take place before a game begins,
Mhm.
what are some red flags that tip you off that a table might not fit you well, and what are some of the green flags that you look for to kind of uh, make you comfortable at a table?
Uh, it's kind of a 2 sides of the coin because it's the communication.
Hmm.
Having that, and you know what? In that game, we did do that, but I don't know, having that discussion where everybody's actually participating in, describing how they want the game to be
Hmm.
and what kind of game they're interested in playing, and getting it to be in a way that if somebody's like, "Oh, I want to be like, Noir Blackblade," and the rest of us are, you know, uh, Good Heart Lightman, uh, it, it, it's gonna be, a problem.
Hmm.
It's just going to not be a good time if not everybody is like on the same page
Yeah.
and able to enumerate it. I had, one game where it was like one person. The rest of us had played together. The one person was new and like didn't feel like too comfortable speaking up, and we had like a bad session, like maybe 5 sessions in, where she was crying about something that happened, and it was entirely understandable based off the previous experience that they had had with tabletops. That we were in a horror game and something horrific happened,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, no, but my character. And it's like, this is the game. It's like we tried to communicate this, and you were just like, okay, sure, whatever. And it's like anyone when somebody's like, oh yeah, that's fine, yeah, or if you bring up a thing and they're like, oh, what's that? And it's
Hmm.
one of the core bits of the game. Like, have you read the book? Are we, all getting in on reading the book?
Hmm.
If none of us are reading the book, that works too.
Yep.
But
Yep.
when there's that mismatch, that's rough.
I get you.
I guess the best green flag is when it's, people are like, I don't, I don't, even if they don't know what it is, oh, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to be. I've got a strong character concept, and then even if it's just one person doing that and the rest can build out of there, oh man, things can be, just wonderful that way.
Okay. Uh, as someone that leans into each genre and theme of a group, where do you find yourself being the most comfortable? Do you prefer the dark and stormy night of the World of Darkness game, or is it more fun to run around the Sword Coast with someone like Professor Cody, for example? Um, and while you're thinking of that, if you want to go to page 26, that's where the drives, gilded actions, and resistances start.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've input what your starting drives are for being a detective. You get 6 points to fill them out, and the max is 6.
Okay, yeah, I see the 2 in nerve and 1 in cunning.
Yep.
Hmm. So I guess at a table the biggest thing is just the for genre die. Oh, how do I increase the? Oh, I had to
Oh,
type in the
yeah,
number.
you had to type it in.
I was clicking it trying to make the number go up,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
gonna be like, I'll click one of these. I'll click one of those.
Hmm.
Um, so I think it depends entirely on if it's gonna be a long form campaign
Hmm.
versus like a short form anything.
Okay.
Uh, because really for like a mission or a few modules, uh, I'm totally open to anything. I want, in that same kind of learning drive.
Hmm.
I want to, dive in with an open mind to whatever kind of setting it is. Um, I'm most comfortable just because of the amount of time that I've put in it, in like low fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
simple kind of. There's some swords. You do some wiggling and say some words, and things happen.
Hmm.
And the general rules are what you'd know from uh, whatever osmosis you could pick up of like the rules of the world. You don't have to have a strong agreement with the DM on like how the world functions.
Hmm.
That's one of those like that's if anything that's one of those red flags. I guess I was focusing on the players at the table,
Mm.
but when the DM at the table doesn't know what the world is supposed to be like, that can be uh, really rough. So anything where, there's either a good common understanding at the table, like, it's gonna be, Dungeons and Dragons, you know what that is. Versus, oh, we're playing this system, it does a thing, and okay, but what is that? What is it like? It's have you ever seen played Red Numenera?
I have not, but I've heard good
Four
things.
billion years in the future,
Yeah, yeah.
junk planet. I was in a session or a game of that where we would ask questions like, so does this kind of thing exist in the world? And the good way to do that is like, if you guys want to, sure, yeah,
Mm.
that exists. Or roll a die, yeah, it exists. And the DM was always like, oh, ooh, I don't know, yeah, no, yeah, I'll have to think about that. And it's like, well, have either let us have a bit of the control
Hmm.
or take the reins.
Yeah. No, I get you.
So yeah, anything like that, like the low fantasy-ish kind of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, not too swordy, more talky.
You'll notice that uh, without you altering anything, as far as
Mm.
the resistances is concerned, you automatically have a resistance in nerves and a resistance in cunning that popped up because for every 3 points, every 3 drives that you have in a stat, you get a resistance,
Okay.
which is why intuition doesn't have a resistance. But being a detective, you also have control as a gilded action, and then you get to choose one other stat to get gilded of your choosing.
So I think I'll put that on survey.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems very detectivating.
Hmm. Given your history with the hobby,
Mm.
where are you most comfortable at the table? Do you have a preference for either being a player or for running the game? Like, where are you going to have the most fun?
For me, there's nothing better than running a game.
Okay. The Forever
Uh,
DM?
yeah. Well, I mean, the biggest problem is that it takes a lot of time. Uh, I remember explaining that to players at my first table, and being like, the one guy demon before is like, you just slap, you've got the book, it tells you what to do, you've got an adventure there. It's like for every hour that we're at the table, I'm probably putting in 2 hours
Hmm.
of prep work and figuring out, what this world is, building cities, having all these NPCs ready. Uh, the improv that's required for that just tweaks my brain in ways that just playing role playing doesn't.
Hmm.
Uh, but in the same way, that's why I've loved our rotating system table, because
Okay.
being able to jump in over and over again into things that I've not done before
Yeah,
is just a great thing too.
I like it. Um, we're going to be looking at abilities. They start on page 27. You get to choose one from your role and one from your specialty. So you're going to have two special powers that you get to choose from. And while you're looking
Okay.
at them, you have an ability that I've noticed to find yourself around fantastical and wonderful offerings. Be it a beer that none of us have heard of, or a box of plush toys from a fandom that we just got one of our friends into.
Road
Um,
fight the power.
yeah. Um, does that kind of serendipity, or how do you say, like, being in the right place at the right time? Like, I don't.
No, yeah, serendipity is a
Yeah. Like, do you think
common
that kind
thing.
of serendipity translates into other parts of your life? And if so, how have you noticed it?
Uh, yeah. Uh, I had a friend's wife who we were recently introduced, maybe like a year and a half ago,
Mm,
uh, who said that I had uh, Fey energy,
I believe it.
and I had a different like encounter where somebody asked me if I was a priest, uh, from like spending like an afternoon. I was like, I don't even know where you got that,
Mhm.
but apparently I got a thing. Uh, got a very holistic like approach to everything in the world. I love to look for the new things, for things that I don't know about.
Mhm.
Uh, and I'm kind of disconnected from a lot of people's streams of input and culture.
Mm.
Every conversation where it's like, oh, the new show of this thing. I'm like, I don't know what that is. Have you heard of this? It was a movie from 1982 with like a Dracula in a spaceship.
Mhm.
Uh, and I think I'm gonna, to dovetail back into this. I think I'm gonna pick "Saw This Coming" as
Okay.
the slink thing.
Okay.
Which is there a way to put that onto the?
Um, I
Where's
think
that?
there is, if you leave
Advanced
the
tool.
yeah, if you leave the managed character,
Ah,
you should be
oh,
able to go down to
click the wrong thing. Aha.
found it.
Oh yeah. Uh, yeah. The scroll bar had disappeared.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and so these are abilities.
Hmm.
Where's abilities though? I see specialty. Oh, no role selected. Oh, those didn't. Uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah. So if you if you scroll down to where you see role specialty, there's like um
oh,
a little
plus.
cog. Yeah, it'll let you
That's
put something in there.
that's only custom. Ah, again, scroll to the bottom. All right.
Hmm.
Oh, and it does not have Slink Detective. Or am I missing it?
There you go.
Yeah, it's only showing one for each of the things.
It's weird. I mean, yeah, just hit custom then and put ability.
Yeah.
It's weird that it doesn't have.
Oh, a lot of them, the basics will only have the Say create. Okay, slink detective. And then the abilities. Oop, boom. Okay, that's close enough.
Yep.
Uh, and so yeah, like especially for things,
Hmm.
a box of plushies and stuff, I'm always showing up with random crap.
Yep.
I believe in the great material continuum, which is everybody's got stuff around that somebody else is looking for. And the whole one of my goals is a Ferengi thing from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Uh, a goal in life is to be somebody who, gets things to where they should be,
Yep.
and not into the trash. I hate the idea of things, the waste of things going by the wayside. So, a lot of like, the weird specialty beers, I pick whatever's on sale that just has a strange cover that I'm pretty sure nobody's tried before.
Mm,
And if you don't know what it is, it'll look just as impressive as the pricey one.
right. Um,
So that was one of these things. That's a specialty, a bit of
yeah.
magician, uh, soldier, Doctor Diver, detective. Oh, a mind palace.
A mind palace.
I,
Yeah.
I, I think I'd get lost in one of those. Oh, I think
Hmm.
uh, I'll do. Oh, wait, I pick two from this one?
You pick one from your
Oh,
role and one from your specialty.
okay, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Uh,
Yeah.
Oh, one step ahead.
Oh, nice.
Speaking
Nice.
of coming up with random crap.
Yep.
So once per assignment, I can produce a useful mundane object you've had with you all along.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, it's definitely always useful.
And apparently they reused that in Daggerheart.
Hmm. Yeah, you can see where they use this as a good foundation to kind of build into what Daggerheart has become.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's
All right. So now that you have that, what has been your favorite genre of the hobby to explore? I know that we've kind of tested the water on a few different options here, but what is your favorite to explore, or what is a genre that you've wanted to explore that you might not have had the chance to kind of like dip your toe into?
that's the one. I know I've given you the like I brought like a 6 pack of these like basic starters for a game called Troika.
Mm,
And the genre that I really would like to try either running or being in a game, but I've had just so much fun reading the books for it, is something that's like it's like acid fantasy,
mm,
where it's like weirdo. It's not Euro like medieval times European fantasy with magic and swords and elements and whatever that is staples of Tolkien-esque
yeah.
fantasy, but where it's incomprehensible names and creatures that do things that you've never heard of, and maybe it's based off a mythos and like a different thing. Vaesen was getting into that a little bit
Hmm.
because of the like the strong Nordic influence,
Yep.
where you'd get these creatures that at least aren't part of the typical Euro fantasy. Uh, but it works a lot better with like a very rules light
Hmm.
system. So like most of those things are in like OSR stuff. There's like two that I've read. They're Labyrinth Lords, which is one of those just OSR systems,
Hmm.
and Troika is an OSR system. I know I've sent a couple of things where it's like, oh, this character is a golem made out of gnomes.
Okay.
And if they see shoes, they have to repair them, or they're just out there where it's anything goes, and it's you making like you can take a very simple through line story, but all the strange characters who have their own things going on
Mhm.
are what like makes the world like a strange and interesting place.
Are
I'm trying to
you
think of like a movie or TV show that has that, but
are you the one that gave me the kind of like little I want to say it's like maybe at most like 20 pages, 30 pages of an RPG
mhm.
where you turn off the lights every so often, like every age you turn off the lights, and uh the the guide, the storyteller is like talking about noises and different scents and things that the characters
Oh,
feel.
skeletons.
Skeletons, thank you. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
so that was you.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that
that's got a little bit of that because all the different skeleton archetypes in the back
mhm,
are definitely weirdo things. There's like a fetus skeleton and like a
yeah,
birdman skeleton and
yeah.
stuff, where it's like they've been amalgamated out of random bones in the dungeon.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, no, I remember when you started talking about that, I was like, I've heard about this weird game, and I'm pretty sure that he's the one that gave it to me.
That's in a separate kind of because that's almost not about the genre because
Mm,
that's like a completely like narrative world building game.
okay.
And those are some that I really like. I know I sent a few weeks ago on the a chat
Mm,
Downfall.
hmm.
It's a three-player game where you role play the end of a world,
Yeah.
like how a civilization collapses, and you first build out the civilization with some like just keywords, and then elaborate on that through like vignettes that you play out.
Okay.
Skeletons was kind of the same, where it's like you're all skeletons in a dungeon, and adventurers are coming in, and then time passes between the next adventurers,
Yeah.
and the
Uh,
whole like it's world building story and like what is this place?
yeah. Speaking of keywords, have you ever heard of a game called City of Mist?
No.
Okay. It is the last interview of this season that I'm going to be doing. Uh, and it will be a little mini series that's going to happen at the end of August. Uh,
Ah,
but City of
that
Mist
one.
is going to be it's very dependent on keywords.
Hmm.
It's a very very different system than anything that we've done. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you think about it.
Oh, okay, it's Apocalypse World.
I guess I haven't read too deeply into it. I just kind of like skim through character creation to make sure that it's not going
Yeah.
to be anything crazy. Uh, because when it was sold to me, it was like, hey, you're going to get to play a character that awakens some kind of mythological aspect to them. Uh, and immediately I was like Scion, the White Wolf game where you play like the children a gun, and they were like, no, like you could be a car mechanic in your day to day life, but when you awaken the myth inside of you, it's the myth of Camelot. You know, it could be a place, it could be a thing, it doesn't have to be a person. And I was just like, that's crazy. I want to run that.
What were they called in Mage? The creatures that are like out of the like imaginings of
Oh,
shared
the bygones.
the bygones. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bygone comes into you or
Mhm.
like comes out of you. Yeah.
If it comes into you, better be wearing protection.
Oh.
Donald, what do you
Plus two.
think makes a good game great, and what makes a mediocre game terrible to you? What are some of the hallmarks that you've witnessed or lived through yourself?
Uh, setting or table, or like book or table. I mean,
Um, both.
okay, because for book, for like the systems
Hmm.
themselves, I love anything where you have strong interplay between mechanics and narrative.
Okay.
So when we did that Modifius Dune,
Mm-hmm. Which?
the the witch. Uh, oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's the Duke's wife. She's still a witch.
yeah,
Yep.
that's who he was.
Yep.
Uh, uh, oh man, what was that guy's name? Anyways, uh, the fact that we had the die
Hmm.
that would allow us to be like, we're gonna take like mechanically take control of some aspect of the narrative.
Yeah. The
I
momentum.
really liked. I know you cringe at it. Edge of Empire,
Oh. Mm.
because
Yeah.
that's one of the now it's all the rage to have those kinds of things, but
Proprietary
that was an
dice.
early one.
No.
Hmm?
The Fantasy Flight. I have loved their board games. They have produced some of my
They
favorite.
publish whatever. Yeah,
They've published some of my favorite board games. What they have done to L5R though is a war crime.
you know
It is against the Geneva Convention. They took it out back and they murdered my boy.
they're a publisher, not a designer.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's for me that's the same as like, oh, 3.5. I read that one book and it was garbage. I'm like, well, don't use it.
Yeah. And I don't, I run L5R fourth edition because it's the best edition there is.
But in Edge of Empire, there's a
Mhm.
system where one of your sets of dice
Mhm.
has, it can give you a minor plus minus on the mechanical, but the more important thing is that it determines whether you succeed or fail or like have a positive or negative outcome regardless
Mhm.
of the mechanical success or failure.
Yeah, they have that
So in
in
this system, it seems like you've got that 4 or 5 as near misses,
Mhm.
where it's like, you still succeed,
At a
but
price.
bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that system, because you have it a little bit more flexible, you also have, well, you still fail, but good stuff.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, you couldn't unlock the door, but it's now jammed and they aren't coming in through the other side or something,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Uh, so that's like, for me, either, I want almost no mechanics, or if there's like strong mechanics for things, I when you can make that narrative thing happen because of a number, that's something for me. It gives like something to latch on to and not just be you know
Mhm.
trying to take control of a game out of will. uh,
Okay. Speaking of taking control, we're
mm,
going to be jumping to page 33,
oh
where we're
boy.
going to be looking at the catalyst and the question. Uh, First, we're going to look at the catalyst. And when you're thinking about what inciting incident happened to your character to kind of start you on this path to discovering the other side of the world, uh, given given the city that we come from and how we did not turn out like how the world imagines everyone down here acting. Do you remember when you saw that kind of image and said, "That's not for me"? Can you pinpoint it down to a person, a place, or an event that occurred that set you on your journey to kind of be this like nerd geek role player?
Well, I hadn't read the catalyst question style whatever this thing is,
Hmm.
but I had come up with influenced by the name of the character,
Okay.
like a mild background,
Yeah, hit me.
which I hadn't even said before. The name of the character is Sarkis Andonian.
Okay. Serkis.
Not even close.
Damn.
No, it's a Sarkis.
There you
So
are.
quite close.
Damn. Hate being on this side of the game.
Oh, it's a harsh mistress.
Yeah.
That's Mystressen.
Yep.
Uh, goes by Sarkie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
Uh,
it. I like it.
he's a refugee from overseas.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, the setting of
Hmm.
how this is, but at some point it said Istanbul, and so the name is mildly Turkish and Armenian.
I like it.
Uh, and what I figure is that he had to leave his home
Mhm.
because of some sort of supernatural shenanigans.
Okay.
And it may well be wrapped up in geopolitics, but the kind of thing where the people in the know that that was incited by supernatural shenanigans.
Gotcha.
And so he wants to, you know, help be part of the bulwark against such things in the future.
I like it.
Uh, I don't know that I've ever had a moment of being like that ain't for me,
Mhm.
because I just never saw uh, too much Miami.
Yeah.
There was enough underground that still spent my 20s at clubs, but it was what was that place I remember, Vagabond,
Oh my god, yeah, the vagabond.
or oh man, what was that other one on the beach? Some
uh,
places that were like on the upstairs where I can't remember. I remember the receipts were always for some Chinese restaurant because technically that was the people that owned the club.
sounds like Pretty Lounge to me.
Oh, Purdy, there we go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Or Revolver.
oh, Revolver was great.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's, you know, I think that's uh that kind of jazzy lounge flavor
Hmm.
is something that's almost just as Miami as Space or 11.
Yeah. Fox's Lounge, I mean, is a staple.
Oh,
So
yeah.
much so that they had to bring it back after it went defunct. Um,
That's I walk there. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh but yeah, I've if anything, that same kind of uh me consistently not knowing what's going on as part of the culture
Hmm.
is much more where that's at. As a little kid, I was playing with My Little Ponies instead of He-Man
Okay.
because I liked the bright colors and the movie better than the janky animation on the other show. And like all my friends were girls that were playing with them. This is fun. And I've just never try to put too much thought into like an us versus them kind of
Okay.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
Donald, when you're going through the process of character creation, what is your
Mm.
preferred method of going through it? Like, do you like this kind of situation where you're meeting with the DM one on one? Do you want to bounce ideas off of them, or do you want to come in with like a prepared, like the joke is you come in with like a little binder of like a 300-page story of all of like what adventure you live to get to where you are, like what is your ideal scenario for sitting down at the table and coming up with your character?
I've done both.
Mhm.
I've had good times with both. And I think what the big one is whether or not like I can feel it. If you send me the 2-page setting guide or something
Mhm.
and I read it and I go, "Oh, I know it." Then it's going to be fantastic to have the binder and be like, I know this guy already. He lives in that world. But then, if it's just not there, then it's like, okay, well, this is the perfect way to have like, all right, hold my hand because you're going to need to walk me into this world.
Mhm.
And, we can all have a wonderful like a date of of, well, so how do you feel about, this world that's going on here? It's like, here's the detective. How's about that? Scholar, soldier,
Mhm.
who do you like? Pick
W-
out anything you want, baby.
where does Jamo land on that scale?
Uh, oh,
Jamo for the uninitiated is a fungrel seraph that you play in our Dagger Heart game.
yeah. Uh, Jammo was two or three stumbling blocks of ideas, and I'm pretty sure in between I was messaging you to be like, so what's this about this world? How does this part work?
Mm.
And then reading through the book, and then I was like, aha, I know, now I know who Jammo is. And you know what? That's the kind of thing where it might have been a better time to have the hold my hand and show me around,
Mm.
because I had to, scrabble a bit, and there were like three or four different like half characters where I was like, oh, I could do this and this, but then the other guys picked out their classes and things, and I'm like, okay, I just won't do those.
Hmm.
I don't want we don't want to double up on anything. I want to see new abilities,
Yeah.
and that helps narrow things down. I think that that's also, you know, if some of the people know like exactly, if they're on it, they know their character,
Mhm.
and it's like, okay, perfect. I can just be anybody else who helps round out, the rest. And I think that's maybe a difference of, Professor Cody or Toby versus uh uh who was in uh Vampire Cam. Where I didn't
Oh.
have a good sense of the character. I was like, we did our running joke of I know the
No.
Bigfoot or whatever. We
Yep.
met like the guy, but like the character is like, I'm just gonna round out, and I'm not gonna be too facey. And these other guys, they've got good characters. I want to just make sure to make the story happen better, and have a better time of like building the world. Even if it's like, he's technically main cast,
Mhm.
but he's supporting
Okay.
cast, and I'm perfectly fine with just entering in like with that feeling, being
Okay.
like, oh, I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with these great characters that they come up with.
And you say that, and then we get whatever Nardi's mage character was.
Oh, the activist. Uh,
um, Cricket is an a whole different animal onto himself, though.
I mean, yeah, and with Cricket and Frog, Jamo can be the strong silent type.
That's true.
Yeah, and just like walks with spirits, you know. Yeah, I try to just like let a lot of the others had their own like really strong things with it,
Yeah,
and I know who the character is. I've got a background for him, but he can give it's not murder, it's maintenance, but
I
it's not
think
going to be
yeah,
making
but
the
I
big
definitely
leap.
think that Walks had a good uh like protagonist scenes. Like
Yeah,
he wasn't always like
yeah,
supplemental or supporting. Like there were some good pivotal scenes that I think he was a part of.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
focused.
Though, I chalk that up to the your storytelling.
Nope.
Ah, you know, at least it's not like a intentional direction of
Mm.
wanting to take scenes.
Mhm. It's interesting because of the in Daggerheart they do let you kind of like who wants the camera,
Hmm.
and it does. I like that it does kind of push those people that are just like, I'll wait till it's my turn to do my thing, and then I'm just gonna keep looking at the book to see what I should be doing,
Mm.
and push them to be like, I I guess I could do something here, uh, but but then I have to describe it and things, and so it helps push people out of the comfort zone, which is why I really like Daggerheart, and it's one of the reasons why I haven't pushed for Pathfinder to replace it, because I'm also like, no, this system, like watching the group's eyes kind of widen when the little fear chips come out, and just like, what are you doing? What are those? Why are they out there? And just like, you rested. I get this. This is mine now.
What I do wish that it had
Mm,
was a little bit more of the flavoring around
mm,
fear or hope increasing.
yeah.
Because it seems like, usually, and I guess you're rolling a lot of dice. You're not gonna, come up with a zinger on every time.
Yeah.
But the fear, it could feel fearier, and it's just hard to do that. But then the system just makes you do them,
Yeah.
and so then it's like, well, I guess you guys got scared by that. Uh, I'm thinking of the what was the blood thing in Vampire?
Oh, the rouse check, the hunger
There we go.
mechanic.
The hunger mechanic,
Yeah.
where that's like much, since it's more infrequent, there's always a chance that it'll happen, but
Mhm.
it's not every time you're going to get the plus or the minus effect. Maybe if there was like uh, the hope or fear where it's like, oh, if it's over this amount of difference,
Mhm.
then there's some like extra hopeful or extra fearful. Where it's like then it's gonna push it on you, and if it's like, if it's only a few points, then whatever, it's just a die roll.
Okay. I'll
That's the kind of
yeah, I'll make a note then uh kind of let the fear, whenever I use a fear, to let that fear more daunting.
oh, using it does feel it. I'm just meaning the
Okay.
gaining or losing it.
Okay.
Yeah, because especially and the using the hope,
Mm.
it's usually to do things that have to have like a flavorful. We have to explain the flavor behind what's going on with the hope
Yeah.
that we're using.
Yeah, but no, I
And
think
so,
that, no, you brought up a good point in that it does feel a little, not stagnant, but a little like resourcey, in that
yeah,
I'm using this, and it's like, if I use fear, you know that something bad's gonna happen. And if you use hope, you know that you're going to get something good out of it.
yeah,
But like, just simply, like, whenever I use fear, kind of using that moment to make the world feel a little colder, a little bleaker, a little more
you've been
like
doing that.
well, yeah,
You've
yeah.
been, yeah,
But also the flip of it, because I don't do it when you use hope, is like, in certain instances when you use hope, to ask how your action is going to make the world better. Like, what
oh,
kind of
yeah,
ripple would that have, because somebody saw you do something, or because uh, you participated in this thing, whether it be the combo attack, the chrono trigger attack, as I call it, uh,
yeah,
or whatever have you. Like, even if you use hope to like do your seraph die thing, like,
yeah.
everything I think, uh, because it goes back to that mentality of the Jedi, where it's just like, you don't need to be a great lightsaber wielder or a great force user to change the way somebody views the world. You just need to be kind.
Mm,
You need to show them that the world can be better, and that you are doing that. And I think that's huge.
yeah.
Uh, but given the medium of our hobby,
Mm,
we get to ask a lot of questions, both of ourselves and of the universe around us, be it whatever we're playing, vampires in Portland, or a living fungus in some faraway land. Is there any one question or idea that you have been afraid to ask, especially through the lens of a particular character? Like, is there one overall, or is there one that kind of pops up per character? And when you're thinking about that, you can um, look up and
Oh yeah.
uh,
Question.
yeah, the question. What is the ultimate secret that you're trying to uncover with your character?
Uh, the nature of that,
Mm-hmm.
like the exact nature and how to explicitly prevent whatever the supernatural kerfluffle was
Mm-hmm.
that that caused his nation to collapse
Okay.
and his refugee status.
Yeah.
And so it's I'd have to sit longer to come up with exactly what that is. There's
Yeah.
probably a good name for it. The what of oh whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the great whatever of something something.
Yeah. I
Uh,
like that though.
but yeah, I mean oh yeah, this may align with your catalyst. So yeah, that would be in direct alignment with
Mm-hmm.
the catalyst.
Sure would.
Um, uh, goodness, a question now, like of myself role playing the character,
Of yourself,
because I think
period, or
yeah,
as the character.
because well, Wox's background, uh, like a very rough thing that we never. I mean, we mentioned it early on in the game,
Mhm,
but that never came up much. The fact of role playing a Native American,
mhm,
I was consistently worried about that kind of representation, not like uh, being a dime store Indian or whatever.
mhm,
Uh, and the kinds of questions though that I would have about you know the his background is based off real events that happened in like a region of Montana that I'm familiar with,
mhm,
where there was a state sponsored massacre,
mhm,
and just trying to touch into the the mindset of that kind of loss was a thing that was like it, I you know got into the character and saw the character and like recognized him,
mhm,
and then was like, oh man, to like actually try to consider that is something I just couldn't figure out how to to do. And to my own mentality, it was just like, well, he doesn't deal with it as much because of the supernatural. Yeah, also a werewolf, and
mhm,
so there's all these other things going on. But for like the human side of it, that's any number of people's very real experience that
mhm.
I struggle with, like, for that it's like, well, what even is the question to be asking about it? I It's such a foreign kind of uh situation and place to be in mentally and emotionally that I wouldn't even know, even it's like not even afraid to ask the question. It's like can't figure out what the question would be to ask
Mhm.
to get to that.
I get you.
Yeah.
I I actually like the work that you put into walks, because that whole situation that um, kind of set his life in motion
Mm.
could easily have been the fuel that keeps your rage burning, and
Yep.
you didn't turn it into a comical thing of like, well, I lost my people, so I'm angry the whole time. Like, you were soft spoken, you were well thought out, and most of the people we saw you interact with knew that the werewolf supersedes the American, the Native American, you know, uh, which I think really is one of the nicer moments of that game, where it's just like,
Yeah,
yeah, you by all rights have, like, this is your land, like the white man stole it from you, but you're also a werewolf, and that's kind of more important because you could be out there ripping faces off of people if you really wanted to, but the fact that you don't shows great restraint
don't anymore.
anymore.
Because yeah, that was one part that like that definitely back part of the backstory
Hmm.
where there was like a period of time shortly after where he went through like, oh, I'm just gonna like kill all humans. That's it.
Yeah, it
Like,
happens.
I'm gonna, yeah, I'm so glad that I got a mission that lets me kill all humans because,
Hmm.
uh, you know, fuck
Yeah,
them.
they're gonna pay.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not murder.
it's it's something that I can relate with, in that when the McStabbers did their werewolf game, my first
Mm,
character for them, I immediately when I was chosen to be part of the main cast, I messaged the storyteller and I was like, "Hey, I I know this is gonna sound ridiculous and it's gonna be a red flag for you. I want to play a red talon."
mm,
And as somebody that has played werewolf, or somebody who doesn't know what werewolf lore, red talons are lupus born. They're wolf born. They hate humans. They hate everything about humanity, the tools, the spreading, the uh, just the aspect of the ape things, as they're called, because they blame humanity for the downfall of the changing breeds. Um, so I messaged them and I was like, "Hey, I really want to play this, but I don't want to play them for them. I want to play them for for their auspice. I don't want to play the man eater, the man hater. I want to play the judge who has seen the destruction that man brings, but also sees the good that it is to be uh, a wolf of the wild. You know, the becoming the two the becoming a member of the two worlds. I think would have been eye opening and life altering for this wolf. Uh, and they wrote back. They're like, you know, let's talk it over with the table, and let's see if everybody's okay with it. And we talked it over. I did my pitch, and uh, it turned out to be one of my favorite characters I ever got to play, and I think his death has been the one of the hardest from any player, any character that I've come up with for a game. Um, but
that's yeah, that's one of those things of like the person hears the oh red talon and they go, oh
Mhm,
no, 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 no.
mhm,
And it's because that's the kind of thing that attracts uh, contrarians or the
yep,
person who wants an untrained common,
yep,
you know, who don't want to be part of a party.
mhm,
They want to be like in their own adventure, and they just have to deal with the fact that there's other people around.
yeah,
Like, well, if you're taking it conscientiously, though, man, you can have a great time with those kinds of characters.
yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, I still love the fact that two of my quotes made it onto T-shirts. So you know, uh, but it is, I think, a dark, overcast evening when we get to meet Sarkie.
Mm,
The fog of a London-esque city has rolled in, the humidity of a late summer has uh, set in to a lot of people. There is the glow of every like 200 feet, a gas lamp to light the way as night has fallen on this city. We find you mid assignment. The circle is split up. You've you've kind of found yourself alone tonight. How many members are in your circle?
Uh, and the circle is just the day-to-day party of adventure of like
Yes.
people, right?
You're
Not the entire like
no, it's just your group.
chapter or something.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, five of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
This
camera.
one,
Go ahead.
at least one of them's a former soldier,
Hmm.
and at least one's a scholar.
Okay.
I know that much. I don't remember the other guys.
The camera will find you from a high angle, probably from a rooftop, uh, 4 stories up, and almost like a cat will see this kind of hop from one roof to the other, getting lower and lower with each hop until we are at your shoulder height. And we'll hear like a bottle fall down an alley.
Mm.
The street's been pretty quiet otherwise. Does that pull your attention?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
What's just a
Almost
cat?
in contrast to you turning towards the sound, the camera will swing around in the opposite direction so you kind of meet in the middle. What do we see? What does Sarkie look like?
A little bit above average height,
Mm,
slender build, sharply dressed man. He's got a, a trimmed mustache.
mm,
Looks, you know, to the styles of this world, modern,
mm,
uh, but at the same time, decidedly foreign. He's wearing it's been kind of dreary out, and rather than carrying an umbrella or, uh, the style now is big overcoats for the rain. He's got a cape, uh, old style like cloaked,
mm.
slick thing.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a little uh, little dark, recognizable as just foreigner man, as you would see in like a film noir or something, where it's like Eastern European maybe. And the real thing that draws attention, especially with that close up to a face,
Mm,
is the intensity of his eyes darting about, because he's trying to take in every little thing that he can of what's going on. He walked through, and he's got that kind of awareness.
mm.
But if something, a sound like that happens, he's in what was that ability called? He wants to have seen that coming.
Yeah. Yeah. The the bottle that you heard catches a little bit of the gaslight at the other end of the alley, and you see it kind of glisten as it slowly rolls away from what looks to be this rotund gentleman who has one hand up on the wall, head down, and you can just see a little bit more of the floor start to glisten as the puddle grows longer and larger. Yeah, definitely relieving himself. Um, but you will hear the kind of meow, and a cat will slink by you.
Oh, I'm petting that cat.
Okay.
Fine night we found ourselves in, hmm?
Meow. The circle has been neck deep in some kind of mystery. There's been at least half a dozen uh, women of the evening that have found themselves with a gentleman caller that has left a bit of bleed in their establishments. Um, Bleed, for those that are not familiar with the system, is bad stuff. It is
Ain't
the ooze from the other side that kind of pushes and tries to bleed into the world, which is why it's called bleed. But it can taint and it will taint. And if left unchecked, it will create more monsters. Um,
and what was the veil called in this?
oh, I think it's like the mirror or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was something that a little bit of pet peeve when they go and it's like, hey, here's all the. Oh no, you don't have a party. Your party is called a circle.
mhm. Yeah,
Or
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
guild is called whatever.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Um, oh, that's one thing we forgot to do for you.
Oh no.
No, no, it's very easy. It's just gear.
Oh,
Yeah. So you will get to choose 3 pieces of gear.
okay. Where would gear be? Skimming through this.
Yeah, so it would be on page 52.
Aha. Oh, it's almost there.
Yeah. And it's just mundane things. Could be anything. There are a couple of
Mhm.
uh, what's it called? Order specific gear, like bleed collectors and bleed detectors. But otherwise, like anything can be gear if you want to use it as like a keyword to emphasize an action. Like um, if you wanted to use your raincoat, for example, as a piece of gear, and you wanted to uh, throw it over a a pointed fence to kind of reduce the danger of it, you could use that as a piece of gear for that situation.
I was very specifically thinking the cape
Hmm.
would be uh, a hide
Yeah,
enhancing gear.
also could
Uh,
be used there.
uh,
Um,
and then let's see. Uh, what else do I have here? Drive, shoot, and finesse. Uh, I've got a lockpick set
I get
uh, because I need to get into places from time to time.
sure.
And then uh, an antique gun.
I like it.
I can't use it very well, and I don't have much practice with it because I can usually get my way out of things.
Yeah.
Uh, but it was my father's from back in the homeland, and part of why I don't want to use it very much is I'm not sure if I could get more bullets for it.
Mm, okay.
But I know I can't get in a punch up, so every once in a while the pistol has to just come out.
Yep. I get you.
And it looks almost like one of those like 16th century blunderbuss, like a big bulb on the back and whatnot,
Nice.
uh, but smaller.
Okay.
And with modern, I'm not filling it with powder or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got some bullets.
Um,
Clearly from another age, though.
what led the circle to splitting up tonight? Why are you on your own?
Well, in a mundane way,
Hmm.
they're not as not all of them are as dedicated as they could be.
Mm,
And it was getting late, and it's rainy. They're like, "Oh, we got to get home. It's just, let's just keep on tomorrow. Maybe the next day we'll meet back up on this." In a, you know, giving them more of a benefit of the doubt, we've really hit a dead end on this.
okay. That was going to be my next question. How far into the mystery have you gotten?
I've, found myself taking the longest way home. Uh, One just because, I kind of like the city in the rain,
Hmm.
but also because I thought, maybe I'll think up a clue or work my way out of this, dead end that we're in.
Hmm.
Of there weren't enough clues on any of the other things, and maybe I'm just gonna wander around the neighborhood where where this is happening. Something interesting might come my way,
Yeah.
and if not, just loosen up the thoughts and pet a cat.
there's there's definitely a moment where you're just like lost in the petting. It's a quiet moment. It's a somber moment, and maybe one that you've actually needed, uh, overdue, and then you'll hear the sound of like somebody's breath being cut short, like that herc, uh, of like maybe somebody getting clotheslined or somebody just being cut off mid sentence, mid thought. There'll
Immediately, I
be
try to look back to where the drunk was.
you see that he has fallen back, but you also see the glint off of his urine looks different. The bottle, the reflection of the light in the bottle looks a little bit more different, almost like that pearlescent um, kind of coloration that happens when you're looking at gasoline. Uh, let's have the first roll of the night be a survey roll. Woo woo woo.
Is there buttons for me to press for that
Yeah,
in the?
I think if you just hit survey,
Oh, oh, hey, that is a button.
it'll ask you if you wanna.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
So it lets you
fancy.
modify with additional dice
Yeah, if you want to
or
use
extra gilded.
any drive.
So it's saying that use drive from. Can you use one drive into a different set of things?
Um, not that I've seen.
Okay. Every once in a while, a system
Like,
will do that where it's
yeah,
like, well, if
excuse
you
me.
can explain it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a rare occurrence. It's kind of like that in White Wolf, where yeah, sometimes you'll roll
Yeah,
like dexterity and athletics, and sometimes you'll roll perception athletics because you're trying to figure out where to land.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're looking for the handhold and to
yeah,
get it as opposed to yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, all right, I'm gonna put. Because I'm driven.
Okay.
And refresh. I'm gonna put a point from my intuition drive into this.
Okay.
So it'll be 3 dice.
Yeah.
And oh, wait, where do I click to make that happen? Oh,
Mm,
there we go. Roll.
yeah. Okay. So you got 2 1s and a 6.
Oh,
So
so I succeeded. Yay.
yeah, you got a perfect success. Like I said
And the,
before,
the ones don't do anything then,
they
right?
don't do
Yeah, it's
anything.
not one of these trade-off
They
kind
don't.
of things.
Yeah, there's no botches in this. 1, 2, and
Unconditioned
3.
to be like
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. White Wolf definitely makes you question everything. What does this number mean? Yeah, in this system, 1, 2, and 3 on a D6 is a complete failure.
Mm,
4 and 5 is a complicated success, and then 6 is a
mm.
complete success. There's no uh, misgivings about what you set out to do. So when you see trying to pinpoint what might be causing it, it's something you've seen before, and you recognize it almost a second uh, later than you should have. But it's the flare. It's that barrier between worlds. When was the last time you
Kiss
saw the
me over the head.
flare?
Ooh. Now, is this the kind of thing that you just see from time to time, or is it always going to be a?
Sometimes the barrier thins, like it's happening now, and things will come through, or something will bleed out. But sometimes it's just there's enough of some overflow of emotion that tears at the flare and causes an actual like door to breach.
So, in the second of the killings that were or not killings,
Mm,
assaults
yeah.
or whatever that we were investigating, there was just a hint of that kind of flare
Mm,
left over in the at the scene of the place because it was such a traumatic thing that happened,
mm,
and it was exactly for that we got put onto this assignment. By the time that we got there, there was almost nothing, but we could see it, could smell it, feel it.
mm.
That something obscura had happened, that was part of this.
You
And
said the thing.
the biggest problem is that that's the biggest hint that we've got. The
Mm,
only clue that we've gotten so far, really, of any substance, has been the fact that there was some shenanigans.
yeah. Um, so the flare you notice is thinned here, and that's when you hear a scream from one of the rooms in a nearby house, maybe a block away at most, and then you hear a window crash.
I'm gonna double time it over in that direction then.
Okay. You will see as you come around the corner, in between two buildings, there's a thin alleyway, barely large enough for you to kind of like walk straight on through. Um, Much easier to kind of shimmy side to side, crab walk. But you see that there is a gentleman uh, that has looks almost like he's holding his leg. Uh, like he might have twisted it in some way, shape, or form. And when he sees you and his coat shifts It's actually a prosthetic. It's wood and has little glinting pieces of metal that almost look like iron, but they also have that pearlescent glow. Um,
Can I see the upstairs window that he just came out of, or was he
mhm.
coming out of the alley?
No, second story window. You see a woman kind of come out. Bleed! Bleed! Get help! I need help! And you see the guy look at you and start to hobble away.
Uh, a halt. Now, is it that he would also be a victim of it, or is she like saying that the apartment's like on fire with bleed, and
It
or
could be
he's
either or.
oh
This could
geez.
this could be the guy that's spreading the bleed, or it could be somebody that is just infected with bleed and was somehow uh, spreading it.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, then I'll call up to her. Him?
and she nods. Spread it, he
Uh,
did. All over my pillow.
And I can see that same taint on him.
It's hard
Or is
to
he just bleeding?
yeah, it's hard because bleed isn't like actual blood.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just the kind of miasma that comes with the breaking the flare. Uh, it looks like every step he takes with the prosthetic is leaving like a little bleed mark.
Now, we didn't get to this much of the setting, but are would a normal person know what bleed is?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's superstitions about it.
Ah,
You know,
okay.
um, so people will see something black, uh, and assume it's bleed, or something that doesn't look right. They'll always assume it's bleed. So it's
Little bit, yeah.
it's post Victorian London esque city,
Hmm.
with Appalachian kind of uh, what's it called, beliefs and superstitions. You hear somebody call your name, the fuck you did, you keep going. You know,
Yeah, I'm gonna, go to that guy then, and he's not getting away too quick. So
nope, nope. He's got a little bit of a lead on you, so if you want to roll your move to catch up,
I I absolutely do, because I can move.
yeah, you can.
Let's see.
I got to move it
Click
too.
there. And I don't think that I'm need to catch up to him too hard, so I'm just
Okay,
gonna roll them dice.
all right.
And one of them is
No dry. One of them is gilded.
gilded. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, he got
all right.
away.
He didn't get away. He gets to the end of the alley before you do,
Mhm.
and you will see that he grabs the leg, and now with space, he puts his hand up on the wall, and there is this loud clunk, and he starts to move as if the leg was not hindered. So he starts to book down the street.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, if you wanna try again to catch up to him, it would be another move roll.
yeah. And now I'm quite motivated. Because that was something strange. Wait, was the clunk him adjusting the leg?
Hmm.
Oh, oh. In my head, I understood it briefly as he removed the leg and then now could run quickly.
No,
It's
no,
like,
no,
oh, that's a real.
no, no. He fixed his leg.
Okay.
Yo, and you're
There we go.
gilded, and the gilded die came up with 6.
And so it automatically put back
The yeah,
the point that I took out.
the
Hey, look at
drive that
that.
you used. Um, yeah, even with that burst of speed that he got from fixing his leg, by the time that he's about to turn the corner again, like your hand reaches out, and how do you stop him? What does it look like? Where do you see the camera kind of catching the scene?
Uh, it's right as he's turning the corner,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go and grab the one shoulder and pin it to the like other side of the corner.
Mm.
So like as he's turning and like making that turn around the corner, they use that like turn
Yeah,
and end up facing him having like wall slam, not like you know uh, forcibly grabbing the guy,
yeah.
but just disrupting the movement and like stopping like
Oh yeah.
what's this now?
And you'll hear what sounds like wood against concrete, and then
Mm.
you'll see that the shoulder that you hit against the wall, that arm just slides down and thunks on the ground. Also prosthetic.
Gods, what's happened to you?
He starts to speak a language you don't understand. It it's very reminiscent of home, but
Hmm.
it's different. Something you might have heard like a neighbor that came across with your family.
Uh, if it's something where I could get any word out in, be like, hey, hey, to see if there's any kind of or try to say something in my mother tongue. Like,
He
how's about this?
he recognizes some of it. Like he points at you with
Somebody speaks Italian and you say
yeah,
something, yeah.
yeah, it's close enough. It it's more Portuguese than Italian and Spanish, but it is close enough that some words will bleed through, pun intended. But he does kind of point at one of the words, and he mimics it, uh, and you hear him very broken. I is this good English?
Enough. Yes.
I-
Hurt?
No, no, he's fake.
Yeah. I'll say in the in from my language, I'll
Mm,
say bleed. Whatever the terms are for that.
mm. And he'll pull his coat aside, and you'll see that there's a shirt underneath that's ripped, and there's just the marks all over his belly. I I believe yes.
Like bleeding blood, or he's like
No,
covered
no,
in
he's
taint.
got black and purple marks.
Help? I take help.
No, no, I know afford help.
No money.
No, no,
These are bad things.
everything money. He kind of points down at the prosthetic. That money.
Mm. I'll take medium value money out of my pocket. A bill from the homeland.
Mhm.
Something that I can produce because uh, something something. What was that?
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
ability.
yeah. You're
some sort of mundane
calling
item.
on, yeah, you're calling on your ability.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
Um, something that he'd recognize as
Mhm.
money from the homeland, but that wouldn't necessarily have much value anyways.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll hand it to him and be like, see, now you can give money. I take that.
This money. And then he puts it back in your hand. It's your money.
Excellent. Now you've paid, and I can help.
He looks at you confused. And how I pay?
Uh, I'm gonna try to get my way out of this mechanically,
Okay.
through the use of sway.
You're gonna sway him?
Yeah.
All right, roll your sway.
First thing is convince, so that seems like,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
uh, Donald doesn't know the words, but Sarkie is pretty convincing, and I've got a lot of points in that
Yeah, you do.
cunning,
Yeah, you got
so
4
I'm gonna add
cunning.
2 dice for it to it.
Ooh. Hot.
There we go.
And you got a success. Even with a 4, you would have been complicated
Well,
success. But yeah, complete success helps. You explain it to him. You walk him through, and he just like, at first he looks like he's mad,
mm,
and then he just starts laughing. I I You got me.
yes, yes. I have friends. They help.
And he points at his prosthetic hand, his prosthetic arm. I get.
I'll see if I can help him, jigger it back on if it's got like a strap or whatnot.
It's when you see him remove his coat from that arm, and he opens up the shirt enough to see it. It is advanced. There's clockwork, like they're wood, but there's clockwork gears there that look like they help with the spinning. Um, the arm itself, you'll hear it kind of clicking every few degrees in the elbow. The
Fancy.
the wrist and fingers have articulation. And the moment he like clicks it into place, you'll see the fingers just one by one close, and then he opens them.
I'm imagining Luke's hand in Jedi.
Hmm.
A little bit where it's open and
Except that in the open, like you are now,
mm,
you'll notice where the musculature would normally be, like the the what would be like the veins and the arteries,
mm.
they're pulsing black and purple.
Oh,
The bleed is what's letting him use his prosthetics. And as you sit with that, I think I'm going to ask you my last question, Donald.
oh
Did you
my.
have a good time tonight? And is this a game that you would want to play in the future?
Yeah, yeah. This seems interesting.
It's a
I
fun
mean,
little game.
I, I really will. I get a great time anytime we're doing some storytelling
You stop it, you.
because yeah, and especially since like you got to know each other a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I don't open up too much, so
No, no,
going through some stuff
like
like I know
you
it's
when you said that your father lived by here, I always like I know that you never talked about him, So I was like,
Hmm.
oh, he's probably like not in the picture, and then you were like, yeah, he's alive, he's over there, and I was just like, this man has a dad that is alive.
Yeah, yeah.
That was yeah.
He's
Every session, I learned something
he's
new.
85 now.
Oh wow,
Yeah, he was always
spry.
second second family. So
Mm.
uh, yeah, it's just a bit distant because the age is a bitch.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, the system seems interesting, and
it's an
especially the
interesting.
you know, gotta love that Edwardian not quite steampunk, because oh
Yeah,
god, we don't want more steampunk nothing.
we have an abundance of steampunk. We don't need any more,
Clockworks and magic and stuff. Hey.
right? I gave you a hint of it. You can't get mad at me if you like steampunk out there in the audience. But yeah, man, thank you for being a part of this. I'm glad I got to know you a little bit better. I hope that this is a system that we can revisit in the future.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting with our group. And thank you to the audience for being a part of this. I hope that you learned something about Candela Oscura that you didn't know before. You know, it's an interesting little system, and but you can definitely see the building blocks that they kind of cherry picked for Daggerheart.
For
So,
sure, for sure. Yeah.
but yeah, man. I know that I always leave a little moment for people to plug whatever they're into, but you are notorious for not having anything to
Well,
plug.
I figured I'd share a bit more
Okay,
with that, because I've
do
mentioned
it.
it once or twice before, but I'm wearing my
The Sega
Dreamcast
Dreamcast,
t-shirt,
nerd.
and for anybody who's interested in that kind of thing,
Hmm.
I'm the head of a operating system, well, the head maintainer of an open source operating system for the Sega Dreamcast.
Like an
And
emulator.
no, the other way around.
Oh,
It's to write homebrew
what?
on the Dreamcast. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I it's part of what really pulled me into programming in high school,
Hmm.
'cause I started back then. And we support all sorts of like modern programming systems on it.
Damn.
Supported by, like, we've had last year we had our first internet enabled crossplay PC Dreamcast game, where the
That's
PC version is available on Steam, and you can buy or download the
crazy.
Dreamcast version. It's like Rocket League, Driving Strikers. Uh,
As someone that just bought um Ori and the Will-O-Wisps
oh yeah,
on Steam, uh
I saw you playing Isaac too.
I did. I finally got Isaac where it got
Yeah,
down cheap enough to buy the whole collection.
classic, like early indie
Yep.
days stuff.
Yeah, that and Super Meat Boy. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But Ori, every time that I play Ori, I always feel like that's one of the Dreamcast kind of the late PlayStation 2, early PlayStation 3 kind of cartoony. And I don't say that in a bad way. I just mean like the
No,
animation is very fluid, very not cell shaded, but definitely in the in that what's it called that stage where it could be um
yeah, you could
beautiful
imagine
game.
it running on one of those
Yeah,
systems.
easily.
It would look slightly different,
Yeah,
but you could imagine it.
like thinking back to the Jewel Fighter game that came out with the Dreamcast
Oh, Power
to
Stone.
Power
Yeah.
Stone. Yes, that was a lot of fun. Thinking back to like the way that Soul Calibur looked in the Dreamcast compared to everything else, like it's definitely one of those games that I would be like, this would have been my Dreamcast like initial purchase. I
Oh yeah.
would have been
I
okay with
mean,
it.
for that, you also had like Crazy Taxi and Jet Grind Radio. They're both super colorful.
Man, somebody was playing Jet Grand Radio recently, and I was just like, who are you? How do you know this game?
Well, they've had two recent, not remakes, but like spiritual successors.
Okay.
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. something like that. I can't. It's a sequence of words like that that
Okay,
I'll never get right.
that might be why I didn't hear about them.
And there was one that was on like Xbox that was like shadow dropped, but it was like a second party developer,
Hmm.
where it came out one day and with no like lead up or hype, and then it disappeared just as quickly. I just don't remember.
Damn.
But where it's that kind of skate
Mhm.
aesthetic, running
Okay.
around tagging stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, if anybody watching or that is interested in
Yeah.
homebrew games, indie game kind of stuff,
I would.
Dreamcast is a
Yeah.
viable platform that
Yeah.
has some interesting stuff going on.
I would love to be involved in some kind of like RPG because
Those are
like the
resource heavy.
yeah because like Suikoden and like Chrono Trigger that I brought up earlier and like those games like that's where I cut my teeth. You know,
Yeah,
Secret of
yeah.
Mana, Secret of Evermore, Illusion of Gaia, like those games.
Secrets.
Fucking
I
secrets
always had a
everywhere.
soft spot for nobody else liked them, but Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Mystic Quest was awesome. I love Mystic Quest. It was like Final Fantasy light diet Final Fantasy, but they were pretty
Yeah,
fun.
well, because it wasn't a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah,
It was a Secret of Mana game basically.
it
It was
was.
the only one where you'd have like those overworld encounters like you would
Hmm.
in those guys.
Listen, I actually am a fan of like the Final Fantasy Tactics games, so I
Oh, sure.
like.
Final Fantasy Tactics. Similar like what was that? The Game Boy Advance game.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, Crap, where you've got like genies as your uh,
Yep, I remember vaguely what you're talking about.
Golden Sun.
Yes, it always I always put it in the same vein as like Rygar. It had that same kind
Oh, that
of.
one I never played.
Oh, that one was punishing. Like, if it wasn't for save states on the Switch, I would not be as far as I am in Rygar as I've gotten. Because as a little kid, as a child, like Rygar, Ghosts and Ghouls, Ghosts and Goblins, like those were like I'm gonna go let a goat headbutt me in my balls and have more fun than playing these games.
See all those Nintendo ones? I only played like in like high school and afterwards.
Mm.
I was a Sega boy.
Oh, Alex Kidd.
Had the Genesis until I went from Genesis to Dreamcast.
Yeah, I mean, natural progression.
Well, no, there was a Saturn in between, and most people had the PlayStation in
Oh,
between
oh, shit, the Saturn.
because Genesis came out in '89 and Dreamcast in '99.
That's true. Fuck, I forgot about the Saturn, the Sega Saturn.
Everybody does.
Yeah, yeah.
The
But
developers mostly did too.
yeah, it felt like it. I think there's like all I ever remember was hearing was like Echo the Dolphin on the Saturn looked really good.
Panzer Dragoon,
The
the
Dragoon
one
was
from
another one,
Sega.
and that those are the only two. Those are the only two I ever heard about in the Saturn. But Don, thank you for taking part in this. I hope you had a good time. I hope
Yeah.
that we get to try the system out once we're done with Daggerheart. Maybe we'll see. Um, but as always on the channel, I want to let everybody know that we take mental health very serious. So if you feel like you need help and you're watching live, there are phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube later. Um, and if for some reason you are stuck here in the United States, like me and Donald are, and the resources for mental health are stripped away from us as they are being done right now, you can always go to findahelpline.com to find the resources in your area. Simple drop down menu selections to get to where you're going. So please know that there are resources out there and that you can get the help that you need. All it takes is that first step, and it is the scariest, but it is the most rewarding as well. So please take care of yourselves. As always, on the channel, as I've adopted recently, fuck Donald Trump, fuck RFK, fuck ICE, free Palestine. protect adults, trans lives are human rights. I always forget like I'm missing something. So fuck
You'll
Donald.
always be missing
Yeah,
something.
yeah, fuck Donald Trump again. Just cause fuck him. Fuck him.
Took my name.
For real, man. Ruined a good name. Uh, but yeah, take care of yourselves. Be safe. Donald, thank you again for being a part of this. And we will see you guys when we see you guys. Have a good night. Bye.